Alright guys, what you are looking at is Jujubes. This is basically what some people call an Asian date, Chinese date. It's not truly a date. I believe it is a drupe if you look at types of fruit. But what I want to tell you guys today about is how amazing these are for Southern California. Recently got to pick a bunch of these from a house that has tons of the trees in the back, and they have not been watered in something like 8 years, aside from the very occasional rainfall we get here in Southern California. However, right now we are in the harvesting season. Take a look at these. I mean, they're just absolutely all over the place. Already been picking a lot of them. There's some falling off right there, all over the place. I'm going to show you some in the bucket that I've collected. Really interesting plant, originally from Asia, I believe, brought over to the US in the late 1800s through the work of a botanist out of Chico, California. There's 3 or 4 varieties that are in the US. I think the most common one is called the Yi variety. I may be incorrect on that. They turn a few different colors, so after they actually appear on the branches, they're kind of this greenish color here, and they start getting a little bit darker, that kind of red there, and then they get to be this really nice dark red brownish color here, and eventually they'll kind of shrivel up. And let's see if I can find some on the ground from other years. They get to be something like this, and people will use them in soups and stews and all sorts of interesting dishes. I prefer them when they're just turning this color, maybe just a little bit soft. There is a big seed inside. Let me show you guys what the meat of this looks like. So at this stage, it's almost like a crispy, sweet apple inside. There is a seed right in there. Really delicious. The skin is a little bit thick, but you get used to it. Supposedly really high in vitamin C. Absolutely fantastic. But as they start staying on the branch for a little bit longer, they get that dry, shriveled appearance. Some people prefer them that way. You can actually store them for much longer lengths of time. And the color of the meat will change to more of a brown. Let me show you one over here. This one might be it. Let's see. Yeah, you can kind of see how it's getting to be kind of a darker, a little bit more concentrated sweetness inside. Some folks I know only like to eat them when they're at this green stage right here. That's a little too hard for me, not very enjoyable, like a really kind of tart apple. Anyway, the reason I mentioned these is they seem to be like the perfect fruit for Southern California, because unlike so many other plants we have out here, they don't seem to require that much watering. They will do better with a little more watering, but this enormous collection of Jujubes seriously has not been watered in something like several years, including during the very serious drought we've had, and they're still going strong. I mean, we've got tons of them here, as you can see. Look at this giant cluster I've got here in my hands. If you're interested in learning more about this particular variety, feel free to send me a message. Happy to chat about it. I'm just learning about these. I'm by no means an expert, but really excited to learn a little bit more and enjoy some delicious fruit. I have noticed that these seeds, or the seeds from these, do appear to actually be producing fruit. I've heard in some cases the seeds are fairly sterile, but because I think these are the original trees back here. Here's one that I'm pretty certain was from one of these that fell down. You can see it's planted outside of this little wooden boundary here. It does seem to have more thorns on it. You have to be a little careful, but notice here we go. It's also producing fruit, and they taste pretty much just as good. Not really sour like I've heard of in the past. Anyway, if you've been raising Jujubes in SoCal and you have some advice for me, or just want to chat about this amazing fruit that is super healthy, has a lot of uses, and doesn't really need hardly any water, go ahead and send me a message or comment down in the video. Thanks for watching, guys. Jujubes, delicious.